You're one of the first persons in entertainment to really call out people and kind of have that authority in that, to be able to call people out of Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of a peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning.
You have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
he did it.
You've been heavy on social media talking about it.
I had to rebuild my life over $6,700 a month.
Marquise, I know you feel like...
It's crazy. You're 25 years old. Why are you still talking about child support?
Now in the photo, it shows Kim in her custom all-white Prada outfit, and then the photo next to it shows a photo of a white owl, meaning 50 Cent was suggesting that Lil' Kim looked like the owl in the picture that was next to hers.
I understand in October you did something to get back at Ja Rule.
Yeah.
And please tell the people what you did, because this is quite
I bought like the first 4 rows in his concert. How much are the tickets? $15. I said, okay, give me the first 4 rows.
How many seats is that? It's got to be like 200 seats.
50 Cent has built an incredible legacy over the years, not just as a rapper, but as a mogul and a powerhouse in the business world. His consistency in everything he touches, from music to TV to investments, has kept him at the top for decades. Some might even say he's among the country's elite when it comes to wealth and influence. But alongside all of his success, there's one other thing 50 Cent has always been shockingly consistent at: trolling. This man has mastered the art of being a troll on an epic scale.
I understand in October you did something to get back at Ja Rule.
Yeah.
And please tell the people what you did, because this is quite
I bought like the first 4 rows in his concert.
He even once said, quote, "I have less compassion than the average human," which, if you know anything about his history, feels like he was just being honest. End up on his bad side, and you can bet he's coming for you.
I'm deciding to your life up. Rick, bro, I'm a life up. For fun.
He doesn't just want to win, he'll make it a personal mission to embarrass you, drag your name through the mud, and make sure the internet never forgets. A lot of rappers, celebrities, and even family members have found themselves in 50's crosshairs.
I had to rebuild my life over $6,700 a month.
Marquise, I know you feel like...
It's crazy. 25 years old. Why are you still talking about child support?
It's almost like he's taken it upon himself to expose anyone in the industry with skeletons in their closet, turning him into something of a nightmare for those trying to keep their scandals under wraps. Now, it's easy for some to see 50 Cent now and dismiss him as just this relentless troll, but those who have followed his journey from the start know that it runs much deeper than that. 50 has been through the grind. He came from nothing and clawed his way to the top. The struggles he's faced, the hardships he's survived, they've shaped his perspective. He's seen people do some pretty low things to stay relevant or get ahead, and frankly, it seems like he's fed up. Even 50 himself has acknowledged how lonely it is being the one to call out all the BS that goes on in the industry. He's mentioned before how no one else seems to be holding these people accountable, and he's taken it on himself to do just that.
One of the first persons in entertainment to really call out people and kind of have that authority in that, to be able to call people out of Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of a peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning.
This isn't new for 50. He's been a leader from day one. Growing up, he was always the sharpest, the guy who knew how to move through the streets with strategy. He was always steps ahead, hustling with a crew that respected him, not just for his toughness, but because he had the vision. He knew he wanted more than what the streets could offer, and that focus, mixed with his drive, is what helped him build his empire. And with all that power and success, he's decided he's not going to sit back and watch people do nasty, underhanded things in the industry. That's why a lot of folks think 50 calls people out so boldly. He's been through too much to tolerate the kind of shady behavior that's become common in the entertainment world. Take this whole situation with Diddy as a prime example. 50's been clowning Diddy for years on social media, and when he first hinted at making a docuseries about him, most people didn't take it seriously. It just seemed like more trolling. He reposted an article about him developing a documentary about Diddy and captioned it, "I thought Diddy was a billionaire music mogul. If he's smart, he will file bankruptcy now. Anyone with real money knows why I'm saying this. I'm the best producer for the job, guys. Here come the receipts." But then boom, 50 drops the news that his Diddy docuseries is actually happening and it's gonna be on Netflix. That's when everyone realized he wasn't playing around this time.
You have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just, I know
He did
you've been heavy on social
No, he
media
did it. He
talking
did it.
about
He
it.
did it.
In a typical 50 Cent way, he announced it with a jab, writing on social media, "I've been telling y'all about this weird S. I don't do no puffy parties. You didn't believe me, but I bet you believe me now." The timing couldn't be crazier either, with Diddy facing serious legal issues right now. Charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and other disturbing accusations. If he's convicted, he's looking at life in prison. While Diddy's pleading not guilty, it's safe to say 50's docuseries is going to dive deep into some dark places. What's interesting is that 50 and the director, Alexandria Stapleton, aren't just trying to capitalize on headlines. They're framing this as a much larger, more nuanced story about the culture. They've said that while the allegations are disturbing, it's important to remember that Diddy's story isn't the full story of hip-hop. The goal is to make sure the actions of one individual don't overshadow the contributions of an entire movement. It's clear this project is going to spark a whole lot of conversation, not just about Diddy, but about the darker side of the industry as a whole. And let's not forget, 50 Cent doesn't give anyone special treatment when it comes to his trolling and public feuds, not even his own son. The fallout between 50 Cent and his son Marquise has been one of the most publicized and messy celebrity father-son beefs in recent years. Their strained relationship has played out across social media, interviews and tabloids for the whole world to see. At one point, 50 took things to a shocking extreme when he commented that he wouldn't even care if his own child got hit by a bus. 50 posted this under a photo of Marquise hanging out with Kyle McGriff. If you know who Kyle McGriff is, the reaction kinda makes more sense. Kyle's the son of Kenneth Supreme McGriff, a notorious drug kingpin who's currently serving a life sentence in federal prison for a laundry list of crimes. One of those crimes? He's allegedly tied to the infamous attack that left 50 Cent shot 9 times. So when 50 saw a picture of his son chilling with the son of the guy who literally tried to have him you can imagine the level of betrayal and anger he felt. From his perspective, Marquise posing with McGriff's kid was a massive slap in the face. Still, for most people, seeing 50's comment about his own son was wild. It was seen as straight up disrespectful, and something most parents wouldn't say to their child no matter how bad things got. After the backlash, 50 took to social media again to explain his side. He wrote, "I have zero ill will towards anyone living on this earth. The people Shaniqua's son looks up to and associates with are a reflection of the negative energy he embraces towards me." He went on to remind everyone that he had paid Marquise's mother Shaniqua over $1.3 million in child support to give their son opportunities that 50 himself never had. But that didn't stop the drama. Things really escalated when private text messages between 50 and his son leaked to the public. People were stunned by how angry and hostile 50 was in these messages, questioning how a father could talk to his teenage son like that. So how did things get this bad between them? It seems 50 had driven out to visit Marquise, but when he showed up, Marquise didn't even come to the door. We don't know the full details of what happened, but it seemed to spark a major blow-up. A year later, Shaniqua went to the press and revealed that 50 hadn't seen his son in 2 years. To make things worse, 50 didn't even show up for Marquise's high school graduation in 2014. Apparently, he wouldn't even call his son on his birthday. This became a pattern, with Shaniqua often going public with their family drama and putting 50 on blast. Of course, 50 had his own version of events. He claimed that Shaniqua was bitter, crazy, and entitled, wanting more money and fame simply because they had a kid together. One thing is for sure, 50 was paying child support, a lot of it. By the time it was over, he had shelled out around $1.3 million in total, which came out to about $6,700 per month. But here's where things get tricky. Marquise has claimed that this amount wasn't enough.
It's $6,700 a month.
Okay.
That's not, in my eye, it's not a lot of money. I've seen a lot of money. That's not a lot of money.
Now, most people hear that and think $6,700 a month is more than enough for anyone to live comfortably. But Marquise's issue wasn't exactly the money, it was the lifestyle. He felt like being the son of a rap superstar, he was entitled to a certain way of living.
Raise a celebrity A-list child.
I paid $350,000.
Your child is not me. Your child never been on a private jet before. Your child don't get fly like
He had grown up in 13-bedroom mansions, flown on private jets, and traveled the world. So to him, $6,700 a month wasn't going to maintain that level of luxury. But it seems he forgot that originally 50 Cent had been paying $25,000 a month in child support. However, Shaniqua felt that even that wasn't enough and decided to take 50 to court, and the judge ultimately ruled that $6,700 a month was the appropriate amount. Anyway, many people people saw this as a classic entitlement, thinking he deserved a lavish lifestyle just because of who his dad is. And in a way, it kind of is the definition of entitlement, believing you deserve special treatment or privileges simply because of your status or circumstances.
Entitlement creates resentment. If Marquise asked for a pair of Jordans on Monday, his mother would make sure they were on his feet by Tuesday. It still didn't make him happy. All Marquise could think about was all of the retro Jordans he didn't have, all the different flyaways and colors that weren't in his closet. When he should have felt gratification, all he really felt was disappointment.
50 wanted his son to work for his own money and not just expect to live off his father's fortune.
The issue with Marquise wasn't that he wanted all those sneakers. When I was a kid, I wanted sneakers too. The difference is that I was willing, make that determined, to do the work necessary to obtain them. Marquise has so many more options in front of him than I ever had. I just needed to see him pick one and put in the work.
The saddest part of all this back and forth is how much damage it seems to have done to their relationship.
50, you love your son?
I used to. You ask yourself how long, a complicated question would say, how long can you love something that don't love you back?
Another person who has faced 50 Cent's wrath is Ja Rule. For over 2 decades, Ja Rule has been 50 Cent's #1 enemy, catching flack from him at every turn. The beef between these two rap titans goes all the way back to 1999. Ja Rule, also hailing from Queens, New York, was on the set of a music video when one of 50's friends ran up on him and snatched his chain. Now, this incident had nothing to do with 50 Cent directly, but the story goes that not long after, Ja Rule spotted 50 hanging out with the guy who had robbed him. If you ask 50, this is where Ja Rule started having a problem with him.
And I see the nigga, hey, what's up? You know, we chilling. He see me kicking it with that robbed him. And he feel like I shouldn't speak to this dude because I know the kid robbed him.
But if you ask Ja Rule, this was when 50 Cent decided to use this incident to ignite a beef, hoping it would give his then budding rap career a serious boost.
50 used that as his end to have something to say about me. You feel what I'm saying? But it had nothing to do with him.
What followed was years and years of back and forth jabs, diss tracks, and outright hostility. Even when Ja Rule eventually admitted he lost the battle, 50 Cent refused to ease up, continuing to take every opportunity to clown Ja Rule.
The thing, because you say now, you could say, in hindsight, you could say, yes, we took an L there.
Yeah, we took an L, but listen, right. Yeah, we took the L.
Take, for instance, the time 50 Cent roasted Ja Rule over a theatrical performance, where Ja Rule had the audacity to compare himself to Jesus Christ. It happened last year on September 7th, when 50 posted a video on Instagram of Ja Rule tied to a wooden column resembling the crucifixion of Jesus, while performing his 2000 hit One of Us. The video was taken at the 2023 BMI R&B Hip Hop Awards in Miami, where Ja Rule was surrounded by singers in white church robes with a sunset projected on the screens behind him. In typical 50 Cent fashion, he couldn't resist taking a jab. He captioned the video, "Look at this ish head. Is he supposed to be Jesus? WTF, you can't make this up. LOL, so
In the caption for the video, 50 wrote, "Look at this head. Is he supposed to be Jesus? WTF, you can't make this up. LOL, so stupid."
And it wasn't just 50 who found it hilarious. His loyal comrades, Tony Yayo and Uncle piled on, filling the comment section with laughing emojis.
50 wasn't the only one who found the footage amusing. His loyal comrades, Tony Yayo and Uncle Murr, shared their emoji-filled laughter in the comment section.
But it wasn't just online trolling. A decade into their beef, something unexpected happened. 50 Cent and Ja Rule ended up on the same flight, and surprisingly, they managed to get through it without the plane turning into a battleground. Ja Rule even tweeted about the encounter in a lighthearted way, suggesting they had both moved on. However, leave it to 50 Cent to put his own spin on the story. During an interview, 50 suggested that Ja Rule was nervous the entire flight, claiming he was walking around the plane making Ja Rule uncomfortable.
First class, he sat on the other side, like by the window. So somebody sitting at the actual edge of it. See, and then I sat down and I kept getting up and things.
Seeing if anything would happen.
Just making him uncomfortable because I knew that he was by himself. It was like him and another guy.
You're horrible.
He's a piece of stool.
You're a bully.
But Ja Rule wasn't having it. He appeared on Vlad TV dismissing 50's version of events, saying he was actually asleep during the flight and wasn't even aware of whatever 50 was talking about.
Kept getting up and walking around and make him nervous and all this crazy. And I'm laughing. I'm like, you know what? It may be true. I don't know. I was asleep. Like, he may have been getting up, walking. I don't know. I was catching some Z's at the moment.
In 2018, Ja Rule found himself at the receiving end of one of the most savage, brutal, and downright hilarious trolls 50 Cent has ever pulled off. It all started when 50 posted a screenshot on Instagram showing that Ja Rule's concert tickets were being sold on Groupon. Now, if you're not familiar with Groupon, it's a coupon and discount app that new businesses often use to attract customers, or that struggling businesses turn to in a desperate bid to stay afloat. So seeing concert tickets on Groupon is like a neon sign flashing, nobody wants to go. 50 Cent, being the master troll he is, noticed that Ja's tickets were only $15 each. So what did he do? He claimed he bought 200 seats in the front row just so they could be empty.
I understand in October you did something to get back at Ja Rule.
Yeah.
And please tell the people what you did, because this is quite
I bought like the first 4 rows in his concert. How much are the tickets? $15. I said, okay, give me the first 4 rows.
How many seats is that? It's gotta be like 200 seats.
Picture this, Ja Rule walks on stage ready to perform, only to see the first 200 seats completely vacant, except for one person up front munching on popcorn, and of course it's 50 Cent. The internet lost its mind, exploding with laughter and memes, absolutely roasting Ja Rule. This has to be one of the pettiest, most elaborate stunts anyone has ever pulled on an enemy. 50 didn't stop there. He followed up with another post sarcastically raving about the show and saying, "What a show, I mean just effing great, do it again, my kid went to the restroom." Of course, Ja Rule would come out and say 50 was lying, but by then the damage was done. The internet had already crowned 50 as the undisputed king of pettiness.
I got a stack, I got 10 stacks right now. But anybody that can find footage of this foolery that this talking about.
But 50's trolling wasn't confined to just online antics. In one interview, he mocked Ja Rule so hard that it's hard to believe they were once just 2 rappers from Queens. First, 50 teased the poor interviewer, asking if he was a fan of Ja Rule and if he danced to Ja's music. When the interviewer awkwardly said no, 50 went in for bluntly calling Ja Rule finished.
But Ja Rule was not phoning you.
Oh.
Yeah, Ja Rule.
Ja was a sweetheart.
Okay.
You like Ja Rule too, right?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No.
You be dancing to that.
I'm not dancing to that.
Now, I'm sure you ain't dancing to nobody likes Ja Rule in the States now. Can't make it a show. It's finished, because I said he's finished.
It was like he was driving the point home that Ja Rule's career was done and there was no coming back from it. And then there's the moment when 50 pinpointed the exact time Ja Rule's career started to unravel. While 50 and Ja Rule were locked in their beef, Eminem, who was tight with 50, started throwing in some shots of his own. But Ja Rule, thinking he could take on M, made the colossal mistake of dissing Eminem's daughter, Haley. That was like the final nail in the coffin for Ja Rule's career. Things went from bad to worse for him, and before long, Ja Rule was a shadow of his former self. 50 Cent later said he was thrilled Ja Rule made that move because he knew it would be the end of him.
I said something about him, and he mentioned Haley.
You claim your mother's a crack, and Kim is a known. So what's Haley gonna be when she grows up?
And then there's Rick Ross. When he was attacked by some OVO goons in Vancouver, 50 Cent wasted no time in reigniting their long-standing feud. He reposted the footage of Ross making a quick exit from the scuffle on Instagram with the caption, "LMAO the Great Escape, Mika call the chasers, they are chasing me." But he didn't stop there. In a video he uploaded later, he sarcastically expressed his concern for Ross. "Hey guys, I just saw a very unfortunate situation that took place in Canada, and I want to say to everyone that I hope that brother made it home safely." He said, barely containing his smirk, "I hope that he now has a different perspective and a better sense of what to do and what not to do while you're out in the world."
Very unfortunate situation that took place in Canada, and I want to say to everyone, you know, that I hope that that brother made it home safely.
Holding up his fists, he continued, "That part where that young guy went like, he did this little move and got knocked the F out. That does not reflect him, that reflects his camp."
Right there. That does not reflect him. That reflects his camp. And he might need to go get the Dream Chasers or the 305.
For years, 50 Cent and Rick Ross have been at each other's throats, and it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. Their beef, which started over a petty misunderstanding or a wrong look, has turned into a long-standing feud, filled with psychological warfare and public taunts. Their beef has always been pretty murky, but most people say it started at a bet event in the late 2000s. Apparently, 50 Cent gave Rick Ross this ice-cold stare, and that set everything off. Ross fired the first musical shot in 2009 with his track Mafia Music, where he took a dig at 50 by rapping, "I love to pay your bills, can't wait to pay your rent. Curtis Jackson, baby mama, I ain't asking for a cent."
Your bills, can't wait to pay your rent. Curtis Jackson, baby mama, I ain't asking for a cent.
It was a bold move, and 50, being the unapologetic and brutal guy he is, hit back with equal force. He's never been one to hold back, always saying names and daring his opponents to respond. In his first video addressing the beef, he didn't mince words, saying, "So I'm deciding to F your life up, Rick Ross. I'm gonna F your life up for fun. This is not new, I do this all the time."
I'm deciding to your life up. Rick Ross, I'm a life up. For fun.
50 Cent's relentless style made it seem like Ross was in for a tough battle. In retaliation, 50 released Officer Ricky Go Ahead Try Me, where he called Ross a fat F. But he didn't stop there. He leaked an alleged S tape involving Ross's baby mama, Lastonia Leviston, which added even more fuel to the fire. This move was a low blow and stirred up even more drama between them. Fast forward to 2018, Ross was hospitalized after being found unresponsive, and 50 couldn't resist mocking his condition on Instagram. He's always been one to kick someone when they're down. This year, the feud reignited with 50 Cent taking shots at the low album sales for Ross and Meek Mill's joint LP Too Good to Be True. He couldn't resist pointing out their lackluster numbers, fueling the beef even more.
When you sell 31,000 and 9 CDs, I shouldn't talk to you.
And these are just a few examples of people 50 has put in their place. There are plenty more. At this point, people are saying it's safe to assume that landing on 50's bad side can be a serious mental strain because he never seems to get tired of trolling his targets.